Sometimes we have plans that seem impossible. And I wrote to you on the board that if you take this word impossible and you add the apostrophe, you have I'm possible. Last year, we had a challenge here at the farm. We had to organize this pasture here. We still need to finish the application of herbicides and fertilizers. Hello my friend, how are you doing? Prefix and suffix. These parts of the words that change the meaning of the word. Today you are going to see and learn the most common prefixes and suffixes. For this class, I made some research to find the most common, the most used prefixes and suffixes. And I found that 97% of the words have the same prefix and the same suffix. We're going to focus on them. During our classes, I always share with you the most common uses of English. For example, Felipe, how do I ask how are you? Well, the most common is how are you? What are the other options? There are some. You can say how's it going? You can say how are you doing? You can say what's up? But these last examples are less common. The most common is how are you? How's it going? How are you doing? Okay? During our classes, I always bring to you the most common examples in real life English because I know maybe you will travel to a different country and you will practice your English. So I am always offering you the most common, the most used, okay? Last week, I received a WhatsApp message from a VIP student and she asked me, Felipe, what's the most common? And I told her, during our classes, we always work with the most common examples. The exceptions are the exceptions. If they are important, I mention them, okay? Here we go. Let me start this class reading part of this book here to you, Mastery, written by Robert Greene. This book here talks about the process to become a master, the process to dominate a field in a way that you were excellent. And he brings examples from Mozart, from Charles Darwin, from a lot of people we believe that are geniuses, but when we study them in depth, we realize that they followed patterns. And once we know these steps, we can apply in our own lives. Why did Mozart come to this level of mastery? Well, when he was a kid, he had a sister who played the piano. His dad was a musician. The family incentivized. He started to practice when he was a kid. He loved music. He dedicated hours with intensive focus. There are some parts of the process that we can identify and understand better. Was he talented? For sure. He was amazing. He really had the talent for music. And in addition to that, he had some attitudes, he had some patterns that when we identify, we understand. Nice. And then the question is, how can you and I apply these techniques to accelerate our learning process? How can you and I apply these attitudes, these habits to improve our lives? Let me read part of this book here to you. Our level of wish, patience, persistence, and trust ends up contributing much more for success than our thinking capacity. This is the start of the book. Look. He brings this idea in one of his paragraphs. Our level of wish, patience, persistence, and trust are more important than our intelligence. Robert Greene, the writer, is telling us, look, if you think intelligence is powerful, I need to tell you that persistence, patience, trust are much more important than your brain capacity. Right now, with more and more technology, we have the fake impression that technology will solve everything. Technology is going to solve my problems. Really? No, my friend. Technology will assist us, will help us. Right now, you and I, we are using technology to have this class. Great. But if I don't study the topic, if I don't dedicate hours and hours and hours to prepare an effective and fun class so then you can learn and have fun, technology will not do my job. On the other hand, if you don't pay attention, take notes, speak, participate, probably the results at the end of the class will not be the best. You know what I mean? Technology is amazing. I love it. We use it all the time. But if we have the illusion that technology will solve our problems, I don't think this will work. Here I wrote to myself, consistent challenges to keep growing. We have challenges every day, my friend. Every single day. Yesterday I had a meeting that was a challenge. Very nice challenge. trust the process. The difference between successful people and the ones who are not successful is not just a question of determination. The difference is trust and faith. A lot of successful people had in their childhood, in their youth years, the experience of having surpassed an ability. A sport, a game, a musical instrument, a foreign language, or any other thing. It's there in their minds, the feeling of having surpassed the frustrations and the feeling of having gotten into a learning curve. When we put trust in the process, we persist while others just stop and give up. When it comes to dominating a skill, time is the magic ingredient. When you keep practicing, when you keep learning, insisting, persisting, the time becomes your ally. When we don't persist, when we give up all the time becomes our enemy. Because time flies, we know that. And when we look back, we think to ourselves, oh my God, if I had started, if I had persisted, it happens to all of us, okay? I remember once I was having this accordion lesson with Gerson, my master. And I was there trying to play the accordion. And he gave me an exercise that was playing and going up. This was the exercise. And then when you get to the top, you return. This was the exercise. Very simple. And I was accelerating. And he came to me and said, breathe, calm down. You cannot accelerate the clock. And I started to laugh. And I told him, you are right, my bro. You're right. And I always remember this. We cannot accelerate the clock. God is so perfect that He gave each one of us, everyone in this planet, the same 24 hours. But we can choose to persist and to be focused while we're learning something. I always tell you, my dear friend, please isolate distractions. I am now in airplane mode. If you can isolate distractions there too, perfect, do it. So, trust the process. Increase the resistance and surpass the pain. We tend to retract when we face something painful or hard. To reach the mastery, we need to be resistant. First, resist the temptation to be so kind with yourself. Talking about this these days sometimes is a crime, like to be strict with ourselves. But the Stoic philosophers, 1,000 years ago, they were already talking about it. We need to be strict with ourselves and tolerant with others. We need to be disciplined. We need to be strict with ourselves and patient and tolerant with others. Sometimes happens the reverse. We are very tolerant with ourselves. We can do everything, and the other person, if the other person steps 1 inch ahead, oh, the person is stepped, oh, the other person. We have this sometimes we have the habit of feeling victims, but this is a trap. Okay, so first, resist the temptation to be so kind with yourself. Face the challenge. Resist. Then, my friend, second, resist the temptation to relax the focus. When you have the intensity, you improve your routine and you become more creative. You invent exercises that work your blind spots. You put deadlines to do what you need to do. You constantly force yourself to surpass the limits that you attributed for yourself. This way, you develop your own patterns of excellence. In general, higher than the ones other people set for themselves. At the end of the day, your 5 hours of intensive work and concentration are equivalent to 10 hours of work compared to most people. Soon, you will see the results of this training, and the other people will be admired by the apparent ease that you do your things. Here I wrote to myself, insist, persist. Learn with failure. Did you fail? No problem. You keep doing it until you learn. Move forward by trying, learning, and evolving. The time that takes us to mastery depends on the intensity of our focus. So, the key to reach this level of superior intelligence is guaranteeing the quality of the years we devote to study. What is Robert Greene saying here? He's telling us, look, the focus, the intensity you put when you were acquiring your new skills make a huge difference at the end. So, we need to avoid multitasking. We need to avoid the temptation to do more than one thing at once. I know it's hard because we have the devices ringing all the time. We have the cell phone, the messages. We have the interruptions. You must make an effort. And then I wrote here to myself, last page of the book, deep focus, dedication, practice, repetition. Let's move out. I need to drink some water and I didn't bring our water today. I have one glass here and just this. Sorry for having forgotten to bring our water. You can have this water. This is yours. Let's move our body, my friend. Move your arms. Move your neck. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Now move your neck to the left and to the right. Left, right. Left, right. Move your shoulders. Move your legs. Move your feet. Now, let's do this exercise here. We close our chest. We close our chest. And we stretch our arms. We're going to exercise triceps, shoulders, and pecs. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. My nose is itchy. Now we're going to do this exercise here. Elbow. This exercise here. 1, 2. When we do this exercise, we exercise back, we exercise biceps, and we exercise abs. 1, 2. Trust me, you are not wasting your time. I promise you. I would never waste any second of your precious time. Trust me. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I'm sweating already. Now we're going to stretch. Open your arms, open your chest, and look up. Now, let's stretch up. All right. Now we're gonna breathe, my friend. We breathe in pure air. We hold. And when we breathe out all the worries. We breathe out the grudges, the negative feelings. When we breathe out, we clean what we need to clean. Here we go. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Let's do it together. Come on. Breathe in. Once more. All right. Let's get started. Let's see these prefix and suffix. We use them a lot. Are you ready? Of course you are. You were here, and you were not alone. Exactly. Keep this in mind. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. Prefixes and suffixes in English. The most common, the most used. The top one is anti. Anti means against. Antibiotic. Antidote. I need to take an antibiotic because I have this infection. We need more antidotes to improve our immune system. That person is antisocial. He doesn't talk to people. Antidote. Antibiotic, antisocial. The second most common prefix in English is the. Demand. I devote this to you. You demand effective classes. You decide about your goals. I wanted to buy that hat, but it's deformed. There are a lot of prefixes we use every day. Sometimes we don't realize, but we use them every day. How do we listen better? Enjoy this class. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. What's the right way to listen? Practice the free listening, the free hearing. Bill would hear you with attention without checking messages or emails on his cell phone, without looking at the watch, without looking through the window. He was always right there, listening to you. Pay attention to the person you were talking to. Give this person all your attention. Listen carefully. Listen without thinking about what's gonna be your answer. Bill never told me what to do. He would ask more and more questions until getting to the right problem. Practice the free listening. Listen to people with all your attention, full attention, undivided. Don't think about what you're gonna say next. Make questions that lead to the real problem. When you talk to someone, listen carefully. Leave your cell phone far from you. Don't check your watch. Ask questions that lead to the core, that lead to the center of the problem. Comment here about someone who asked you a very hard question that led to the problem.
Yes, when we need to listen, we need to isolate distractions. The best thing nowadays is when you meet someone and you don't have cell phones. When you were talking to someone and the person is enjoying the conversation without checking gadgets, cell phone, and technology. So, we talked about antidote, antibiotic, antisocial. We talked about demand, decent. We need to decompose the substances. Now, this. Oh my God, that person was dishonest. We need to be more discreet. I disagree with what she said. When you disagree with people, how do you give feedback? Enjoy this knowledge. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. How to give a feedback. The right way to give a feedback. No gaps between words and facts. Bill was always 100% honest. He would tell the truth. He was always sincere. He was not afraid to give a hard opinion. Bill was always transparent. There were no intentions hidden. There was no difference between his words and the facts. They were always the same. He really taught me how to be honest and authentic on feedbacks. It's possible to preserve respect and loyalty to someone, even commenting hard things about his or her performance. Sincerity with Bill worked because we knew he was doing it with love, with affection. Very important aspect of sincere feedback is not waiting. It becomes more real, more authentic. But a lot of leaders don't do it. They avoid giving feedback. Be honest. Be sincere. Associate negative feedback with affection. Give it as soon as possible. If the feedback is positive, you give it in front of everyone. If it's negative, give it privately. Comment here about a nice feedback you've received.
You see, when you give feedback, you need first to listen, to understand. And then you need to be honest. You need to be authentic. You need to be real. You need to tell the truth. Remember the prefixes. Anti, de, this, and now the last one, N. We need energy to keep going. We need to enable our co-workers to do their best. We need to engage our community. But how can I convince people? How can we engage people to buy into our ideas? We have a special class talking about it. I'm going to give it to you as a gift. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. How to convince people. Do you want a short answer? Do not force your idea. Don't do it. You don't convince people by forcing them to do something. Bill taught me to tell stories. When people understand the story, they connect with it. They find out what to do. You need to convince people to buy into your idea. Honesty and integrity were not just to keep his word and to tell the truth. To Bill, they also meant being direct, and this is essential for effective coach. Good coach will not hide the hard things to say. Actually, good coach will expose them. The good coach gets to the core of the hard things. You wanna be kind and demanding. You will put high standards, but giving the right incentive for people to reach them. Basically, it's a tough love. These guys are rude and tough on the surface, but down there, they just want the best to you. They give you the critic feedback that no one wants to hear. You don't want to hear, but you need to hear. The feedback that needs to be said. If you want to convince people, don't tell them what they have to do. Tell them stories. Show them the benefits they will receive if they buy into your idea. Comment here about someone who convinced you of doing something positive.
Hello, my friend. Let's keep talking about prefix and suffix. prefix and suffix. Prefix is what comes here. Then you have the rest of the word. Suffix is what comes here. Felipe, can I have prefix and suffix at the same word? You can have it. For example, this toilet is uncomfortable. And by the way, this is the most common suffix, able or able. Your classes are available at Você Aprende Agora. Ah, Felipe, but this is impossible. Come on, you can do it. Get this word here, impossible, and change it. Just take this word, impossible. Just add one apostrophe here, and now, I'm possible. I'm possible. You have the capacity. So, able is the most common suffix. The second most common is au. Your progress, my friend, is real. When you study every day, it's natural that you are going to improve your capacity. The next most common suffix is ed that we use in the regular verbs in the past. I stopped the class and now you're going to watch fast classes using ed at the end. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. Simple past. Você aprende agora em 1 minuto. It's simple. I talk to you now. In the past, we just add ed at the end of the verb. I talked to you yesterday. You watch me every day. In the past, you watched me last week. I play with my kids every day. Last month, we played together. You see, we just add ed at the end of the verb. Now tell me, what's the past of walk? Exactly. We just add ed. Comment here one example using the verbs in the past. Thank you very much. I'm Felipe Gibi. The most used regular verbs in the past. Você aprende agora em minuto. Want. I wanted to go there. I wanted to see you yesterday. Use. I used my equipment yesterday. I used my rope right now. Look. I looked at these cows last week. I looked at those dogs yesterday. And one bonus, work. I worked yesterday. Comment here one example using the verbs. Thank you very much. I'm Felipe Gibi. See you next class.
Today, we studied verbs in the past. The regular verbs, we just add ed at the end. I listened to the song. I watched the class. I walked at the park. I talked to my friends. I called my mom. I attended the meeting. I traveled to Miami. I trained in the morning. I crossed the street. regular verbs, we just add ed at the end of the verb. Yes. The next one is N. Normally, to define the material. This is a golden ring. This is a wooden table. And then we have ER as the last most common suffix. ER. You are taller than me. We use ER for comparative with short adjectives. You are taller than me. You are smarter than me. You are stronger than me. Yes, you are. And you are going to enjoy fast classes with this comparative here to see the suffix in practice. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. Comparative with short adjectives. Você aprende agora em minuto. Last class we talked about the comparative with long adjectives. Remember, this place is more comfortable than that office. Okay, when we have short adjectives, we add ER at the end of the adjective. I tell you, these classes are shorter than our TV classes. This cell phone is faster than my computer. I am taller than my wife. You are smarter than me. Do you understand? This is the structure. Now please comment one sentence using the comparative with short adjectives.
Let's have the review of comparative adjectives in English. Você aprende agora em minuto. We have learned that with short adjectives, we add ER at the end of the adjective. This room is smaller than that room. This shirt is newer than that t-shirt. This guitar is darker than my pants. Short adjectives, we add ER. For long adjectives, we add more. We don't add, we just say more. This class is more important than other posts online. And better than and worse than. Invent one sentence, comment here. Thank you very much, I'm Felipe Gives. See you next class.
Hello, my friend. We're talking about prefix and suffix. How the words are formed. And you've seen the prefix automatic, autopilot, antidote, antibiotic, discomfort, uncomfortable, a word that we have prefix and suffix. And also you've seen the suffix ed at the end of the verbs in the past. Yesterday we walked here. You watched the class. You stopped to analyze. Let's walk. Sometimes we have plans that seem impossible. And I wrote to you on the board that if you take this word impossible and you add the apostrophe, you have I'm possible. Last year, we had a challenge here at the farm. We had to organize this pasture here. We still need to finish the application of herbicides and fertilizers. But the area to do with a tractor, with a small tractor, with the tractor we have, seemed impossible. But we had to start. And I started.
Mandou, tô fazendo, hein? Aí! Bora!
With faith, with courage. And very soon, the problems started to come.
Aí, Felipe, onde é o vazamento? Vai ter que arrancar e levar mesmo, viu? Soldou de fora a fora aqui, ó.
Fala comigo, professor Antônio. Fala comigo, meu boiadeiro. Conta boa pra nós.
Então aguenta aí, lá vai a boa. O pneu do trator estourou, o dianteiro.
Sorte que eu tava sentado para receber essa tijolada. É o pneu do 275 que furou, meu professor? Ou você vai me dizer que é o pneu do traçadão?
Não, é do tratorzinho. Bateu numa pedra lá, foi pro pau. Ô, Felipe, bom dia. Uai, eu vou roçar que jeito? Levaram as facas pra molar?
Eu acho que o seu Antônio se enganou, né? A roçadeira tá pronta para trabalhar, não tá? Você não tirou as facas no final das contas, né?
Não, seu Felipe, não consegui. Vai ter que levar elas pra oficina pra me afiar lá, porque as tomadas 220 aqui não dá. Não deu o encaixe da minha ferramenta, minhas extensões. Então eu vou levar as facas, eu tenho que levar as duas baterias pra carregar mesmo. Amanhã, depois de amanhã, se o senhor quiser ir lá, passar lá pra buscar as coisas que precisa, aí se o senhor mesmo consegue colocar essas facas, é facinho.
Ah, tem que trazer uma bateria do trator, tá? Porque senão não tem como levantar ela pra trocar as facas.
As duas facas tão afiadas, tá tudo pronto.
Alô, meu professor. A faca da roçadeira está uma navalha.
Aí, seu Felipe, se o trem tá cortando bom, chega o couro, bota pra trabalhar.
Cauê, eu percebi que tá caindo óleo aqui, ó.
É, seu Felipe, isso aí tá com cara de ser do tanque, né? Tá com cara não, né? Tá pingando do tanque agora. Da onde do tanque que tá pingando, eu não sei. Aí já é um probleminha bem grave. Tá com cara de ter furado o tanque. Esse tanque é de lata. Tá bem com cara de ter sido um furo no tanque.
E aí, com o que resolve esse furo? Um Durepox? Resolve?
Bom dia, seu Felipe. Aí é o seguinte, tem que tirar esse tanque fora. Ele é fácil de tirar. E trazer pra soldar ele. É o único jeito de resolver esse problema.
Rapaz, falta pouco para terminar a roçada. Dá para tocar assim? Umas 2 horas de serviço?
Então aí coloca uma mangueira meio apertada onde vai a mangueira do tanque. E coloca um galão de 20 litros de lado aí no trator, bota o óleo diesel e couro.
Because when we start something new, we soon have problems. We soon have unexpected events. The way we deal with these obstacles will define if we're going to finish what we started. And when the obstacles involve time, energy, and money, it becomes a little more challenging. But we don't give up. We insist. We persist until we get there, right? Right or not? Yes or no? Yes, exactly. And then we started. And if I tell you that the challenge was to cut these plants here that you see as beautiful flowers, I don't know if you can see them, but they are beautiful little pink flowers. These are the plants. They have stings. These are the plants. If you take them wrong, these are the plants. They were hurting the cattle and they were suffocating the pasture. In 2 weeks, I hope we finish this. Tell me, what's the challenge that you are facing right now? Sometimes our imagination makes things bigger. My cell phone is not here, but I'm gonna share with you an image my wife sent to me that showed our problems and our imagination. The problems are like this, and our imagination is like infinite. Tell me, what's the challenge you are facing right now? Talk about it. When you start writing about the challenges, I don't know why, but they start to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And you start to have a plan. You start to visualize what are the steps you need to take. Go ahead, you can do it. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. Yes, we're finishing one more class. And you know, progress means happiness. When we progress, we feel good. When we progress, we feel we can do it. And we walk step by step. Sometimes we stop, there is a red line, we wait, and then when it's green, we keep walking. I'm happy to see your progress. Congratulations! You deserve it. Yes. Today, you learned the most common prefixes. Antibiotic, antidote, demand, decrease, decide, this. Oh, my friend, that guy was dishonest. I disagree with you. I remembered the word distant, but this is not prefix. This discomfort will end. And we also studied the suffix able. This is comfortable. This class is available to you. We also studied the suffix ao, used in words that are identical between English and Portuguese. These lessons are real. When you dedicate, your progress is natural. Sometimes this intelligence is artificial. Real, natural, artificial. What else? Then we studied the suffix ed at the end of the word. Last class we talked about simple past. The regular verbs, we just add ed. Yesterday you watched one of our classes. I called our Forever VIPs last week. We walked at the park. They traveled to Campo Grande. They stayed at the hotel. The ed is one of the top suffix. Another one, n, used to define the material. For example, this is a wooden table. This is a golden ring. E-N. We also saw the suffix ER used when we compare things. These classes are longer than our minute classes we have at voceaprendeagora.com. This glass is bigger than that cup. My kids are smarter than me. ER, we use them with adjectives to compare. And that's it. We also have the professions with ER. For example, someone who plays soccer is the soccer player. Someone who sings is the singer. Someone who teaches is the teacher. Someone who listens is the listener. The one who paints is the painter. Robert Greene, who writes books, he is a writer. We use ER to define the profession too. It's enough for today, my dear friend. If you need more, if you want more, we are here to serve you. God bless you. Thank you very much. I'm Felipe Gibi. See you next class.